Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you are watching the station identification of one of Wayland City's resident YouTubers. Live in the basement. This is not MTV's remote control. And he is not Ken Ober. God rest Ken Ober's soul. This is WEML-TV, Channel 77. And now here's your host, New Bedford, Massachusetts' own, Mr. Eric M. Lima. Thank you very much, Mr. Announcer. Hey, Eric Lima here. You are watching another episode of WEML-TV, Channel 77, episode 449. What's going on? Before I get to the meat to the meat of the video today, that would be SmackDown and 205 Live Wrestling Event Center of August 6, 2021. And that's today's date, also 10:30 p.m. Let's finish watching SmackDown 205 Live. The WWE did more release cuts, and some of them are very shocking, to say the least. The shockers were Bobby Fish, Bronson Reed, and Jake Atlas were released. And Cruiserweight upstarts Ari Sterling and Asher Hale got released too. Mercedes Martinez, who has not been seen since she got kicked in the head by Xia Li, she got released. And some of the Leon Ruff, another one. Conan Reeves, who has been there for a while, was released. Stephen Smith, who was the referee. Tyler Rust, who was part of Diamond Mine, has been released, as well as two unknown names in Zachariah Smith and Giant Zangier. And I know a lot of people have been thinking that and we just saw, we just saw Leon Ruff and Ari Sterling compete on 205 Live. I'll get to them in a minute. Kind of shocked about some of the releases. That Bronson Reed was supposed to come up to the main roster and everything else. There's rumors that Adam Cole's contract is coming up is up after SummerSlam. We don't know what the story is, and sometimes we always want to know why these cuts are happening. I'm starting to think, and I'm kind of have a fear that the WWE is slowly killing itself, because if you're not giving the people what they want and you're cutting all these talents and everything out over budgeting, I can understand it was if the pandemic is causing WWE to lose money and they need to start saving money. I get that, but I think there's I think what's killing the WWE is the internet. Because you got the internet wrestling community complaining about the WWE. I think, to me, the internet wrestling community is going to be responsible for the death of the WWE, unfortunately. And that's my personal opinion on that matter. You want to come at me for it, but I'll tell you one thing right now. The way you guys have been complaining about the WWE and what you're suggesting and everything else, I think you guys are going to be responsible. And now down the road, you're going to realize, hey, what happened to the WWE? How come that we want the WWE back? And I'm going to say, it's all your fault, guys. All your fault. So, but until that day when the WWE actually dies and everybody's going to be blamed for it, well, let's talk about some SmackDown and 205 Live. All right, Sasha Banks kicks off SmackDown, explaining her actions, why she attacked Bianca Belair. Bianca Belair interrupts Sasha Banks. Zelina Vega interrupts Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair. And Sasha Banks wants to challenge Belair for the title, for the rematch for the title. And so Bianca Belair accepted that challenge. Says, "I'll see you at SummerSlam." And then she looks at Zelina Vega. "I'll see you tonight." The Mysterios were talking about SummerSlam, how Dominic was was challenging Jey Uso, and Rey Mysterio was a little upset. He says, "Yeah, I got to prove myself. I got to step up my game." He says, "I understand, son. Well, let's do this." So they had a one-on-one match of Dominic Mysterio versus Jey Uso, and Jimmy Uso was accompanying his brother Jey, while Rey was accompanying his son. And the match was going good. Uso took over a couple of times, and Dominic went back and forth until Dominic got him down after the 619, and Jimmy Uso tried to get involved. Rey Mysterio stopped him, and then Dominic got distracted, and it cost him in the end. Jey Uso did win the match. Edge was heading to the ring to call out Seth Rollins. Megan Morant interviews him. And Edge goes, well, I'm going to try to get into Seth Rollins' head. You think he's a bastard? He hasn't met me. So, Rick Boogs introduces King Nakamura, as always. I love Rick Boogs. He shreds on the guitar. That's what he does, and he does that best. It was an Intercontinental Championship Contenders matchup, which means that if Nakamura wins, he gets a shot at the Intercontinental title. Him and Apollo Crews went at it. They had a great matchup until Commander Aziz got himself involved. The referee disqualified Crews because of that. And so that means King Nakamura did pick up the victory by a DQ. Kayla Braxton was waiting to interview Roman Reigns, and Paul Heyman likes to complain to Kayla and said, well, the tribal chief doesn't have anything to say, not much to say about John Cena, who is going to return next week to SmackDown. And then as Paul Heyman went to go back to his locker room after yelling at Kayla Braxton, being mean to her, Big E was standing outside with the briefcase, starts laughing. The mind games begin. I gotta like it. So, and then Tamina went one-on-one with Tegan Nox with Shotzi Blackheart in her corner, but she was sitting in her tank during Nox's match against Tamina, and Tamina was pretty dominant until, I don't know if it was by accident or on purpose, that Shotzi Blackheart accidentally shot the Nerf foam missile from her tank, but distracted Tamina, but it worked either way, and Tegan Nox did pick up the victory over Tamina. And then Zelina Vega was talking to Pearson DeVille, says, can you guys make the match? He said, we're not making it a SmackDown Women's Championship, we're making it a Women's Championship contender match, and if you win, you get the shot Bianca Belair. Zelina Vega goes, thank you. Or you get the shot against the winner of the match at SummerSlam, and she goes against the winner of the SummerSlam matchup next, and she goes, thank you. So Edge arrives to the ring addressing the Tampa crowd, because it took place in Tampa, and then he goes, Seth, he was thinking about challenging Seth Rollins. He says, I'm going to show him how selfish I can really be. And then Seth Rollins, they found out Seth Rollins is not here. He says, big surprise. I don't blame him. And then Edge, and then Seth Rollins interrupted him via satellite, just running his mouth. He says, let me think about that. You should think about it. You should think about facing me at Summer. And that's what, and Edge was like, Edge wants to challenge him to a match at SummerSlam. And then all of a sudden, Seth Rollins brought his family into this, and then Edge went off on him. And then all of a sudden, Seth Rollins goes, you want me at SummerSlam? You're on. So they're probably going to try to get that match signed up. Then Kayla Braxton interviewed Finn Balor. Balor says that after he gets done with Corbin, he's going to deal with John Cena. Then the returning Street Profits tagged up against the Dirty Dogs, Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler, which the Profits did pick up the victory over the Dirty Dogs. SmackDown, in the Contenders matchup, Bianca Belair and Zelina Vega went at it. Sasha Banks came to ringside to try to distract Bianca Belair, but it didn't work in the end as Bianca Belair beat Zelina Vega. Roman Reigns was sitting down, just staring at the audience, is about to address John Cena and such, but then Paul Heyman came up and says, Balor and Corbin's up next. He goes, I'm interested. So, be that as it may, Finn comes out and addresses after the matchup, Finn Balor and Baron Corbin. Balor did win the matchup, but then Finn Balor addresses the Tampa crowd. Well, just beforehand, Corbin tried to apologize. Finn Balor says apology not accepted. So Finn Balor addresses the Tampa crowd, says, now I got done with Corbin. I got a bone to pick with John Cena. And he went with John Cena next week. But then Roman Reigns interrupted Finn Balor. And Roman Reigns, went in the ring, says, come on, let's do something about it. Balor pushes him. And then shoves him. And then the Usos come out and attack Finn Balor. Balor fights them off. And then almost he calls out Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns fights. Then with Rollins and Usos attack Balor again. And in the end, the Usos and Roman Reigns were standing tall over Finn Balor. I get a hunch this SummerSlam match could end up being a triple threat. We will see. We shall see. So, 205 Live, Grayson Waller took on the recently released Leon Ruff. Remember, these matches were taped before the actual releases. And Leon Ruff picked up another victory over Grayson Waller. I don't know, trying to build something with Grayson Waller. It's going to be very interesting to see what develops in the meantime. Then Kushida took on another recent release superstar, Ari Sterling. Kushida did pick up the victory via submission. So, a lot of recently released names in the WWE. I will repeat them again. Bobby Fish, Bronson Reed, Jake Atlas, Ari Sterling, Kona Reeves, Leon Ruff, Stephon Smith, Tyler Rust, Zachariah Smith, Asher Hale, Zion Zangier, and Mercedes Martinez. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. About 12 people released. Now, a lot of them have been used on TV, some have not. Bobby Fish, Mercedes Martinez was still suffering an injury, so they want to release her. Bobby Fish finished the program with Roderick Strong. Tyler Roos was part of the Diamond Mine, but it looks like it'll be just, it could be a brand new Diamond Mine. We never know for sure what's going through the mind of Roderick Strong. I just, so it will be something. So I'm going to so it will be so it will be very interesting, I'm just I'm just very, very it's I think there's a lot going on. Oh man, sorry about that crap. So, I really don't know what's going to happen, like I said before. With all those releases happening, the WWE, I think they're slowly dying a very terrible death. I hate to say it, because I've been watching that company since the Attitude Era. I mean, talking about some of the stuff they were big in the 80s and 90s, but now, unfortunately, trying to create stars and duplicate the popularity of The Rock and Stone Cold is not that easy. Vince McMahon needs to get at, and I think Vince McMahon's old school carny mentality is another reason why the WWE is not faring very well. If he can get out of that mindset, maybe, just maybe, and stop listening to all the bunch of yes men around here, and start listening to the fans instead. I think that the problem is that, corporations don't care. Plain and simple, Very, very sad that I have to say that, and they don't care about any of us. They don't care about the customers either, which is really, really sad, because that's what makes them money. And if you don't care about your customers, how can they expect them to care about you? You know what I mean? And it's really, really sad. I don't know what to say, folks, but it was a good SmackDown overall. We'll see what happens after SummerSlam, but until then, we got a lot of stuff going on. So, excuse me, trying to, could be just a lot of dust, I'm not so sure. Anyways, that's it, that's all the time we have on the show, man. And episode 449 has been complete. This has been my last video for the day. Like tomorrow, is Saturday, I'm trying to get to work, get out early, and basically, hello, babies, hey, buddy, check this out. Alright, Eric's gonna leave and stuff, and, he's gonna do another video, like, tomorrow or something. Oh yeah, I think he will, and he's, like, cool. He's got this cool whammy shirt. Yeah, whammies are cool. Whammies are cool. Like, he could be a total dork sometime. Yeah. Hey, butthead. So what's gonna happen to him? Well, he's gonna be okay. He's got a lot of episodes to go. Yeah. How many episodes he needs to go? What do you think, butthead? I don't know, Beavis. Let's let him finish the show. Thank you, Beavis and Butthead. That was my weird impression of Beavis and Butthead, folks. Well, anyways, I'll see you guys later. You guys have a wonderful night. Get some sleep. Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite and all that. And don't let these releases bother you. I know it's tough. You don't want to know what's going on with the WWE. Just, maybe them selling the company. I don't know. They want to reformat NXT. I don't know. Lots of stories. Take it with a grain of salt. We'll see what happens in the meantime, in between time, what actually happens, all right? Everybody likes to jump to conclusions. That's the way of the internet. What can you do? All right. Until episode 450 comes around, peace, love, and bless out.